Okay, so welcome back. For today, I have two different goals. I have two different goals in mind that I've been thinking about yesterday, and I also been taking notes in order to talk about this. So the first thing is I want to basically summarize and tell to you what is the goal of this channel and what is the objective here. What is the message I'm trying to convey to you if you're watching from the other side. So yeah, on the last video, I said to the camera basically that I wasn't sure about posting this, that it was just for practice. I am gonna continue to practice for the next 8 days, so 10 videos, 10 videos in total. But I made the decision like I need to upload this because this is the most raw and unfiltered version of me that you're gonna get. Like, yeah, from day 10 to the following days that I will try to upload like at least a video a week. Yeah, I will try to plan better the content, what I'm gonna speak about, what I'm gonna share, what I can teach you, if I can teach you something. But these like first 10 videos, and it is my intention to in the future continue to make videos also like these ones, like unfiltered videos in which I just like yap about stuff that I'm thinking on, that I'm thinking about, or maybe a lesson that I learned. So yeah, that is the plan for the following days. So tackling the first thing, the message I want to convey in this channel, convey to you, convey to the audience that is watching. Maybe no one's watching right now, but who knows in the future, you know. So if I had to summarize in a few words the message I want to convey with my channel and with my word is to live a certain kind of life, to live a good life, to live a good quality life. People love to talk about superficial stuff like cars, watches, traveling, money, so on and so forth. And yeah, of course, we all want those things. I personally want those things, the good cars, the traveling. Of course, I'm a big fan of all of that, but that is superficial, and that's not what I want to convey to you. Or even if, by the love of God, in the future I have the luxury of obtaining all of this superficial and material stuff, of course I'm gonna be very grateful. But that's not what makes a real man. What makes a real man, or even a woman, it doesn't have to be necessarily a man. I talk to men specifically because it's where I feel I have a say or something to say, because I'm a man myself. Maybe I can't be an example to women, but when it comes to men, and also women in this specific case, that's not what makes a real good person, you know. Like character, and I know there is plenty of people who talk about this, like, yeah, character traits and how you treat people and your habits and the way you carry yourself and how you speak. But believe it or not, it's true. Like that, those are the things that you should value, because those are the things that make a good person. Of course, that I aim to one day have all of these things, because I highly value good stuff. We all want a nicer house, a nicer car. If you're into watches like myself, we all want maybe not a Rolex, but a Patek Philippe, an AP, of course. Those are incredible things, but they are not important at the end of the day. Like we are all here because of people. Let me say this to you: if the world, because people who want these things, they don't want these things just for the sake of it, just for, yeah, Ferrari because I love cars and that 5-liter engine and this and that. It's not about that. Yeah, maybe the real enthusiasts do, but most of the people who own a Ferrari, or I don't know, like luxury cars in general, they don't know these details. Like they just buy it because they have the money and they want to show off. There is nothing bad with showing off. Everyone do it to a certain way. But what I'm trying to say here is that those character traits, those things you hear all of the time are true. I personally myself, I always try to, when I go to a restaurant, I always try to treat people, the employees there, in the best manner possible, because I've been there, I work in those places, I had those kind of jobs. You are trying to go the extra mile to make people have a good time there, and you don't want people that are rude, like who don't value your service and your time. Like, you are there to give a good time to people. It doesn't matter where you work. What matters is to treat people in the correct way. It's just manners. Like, maybe some people weren't educated in the way I was, but I'm grateful enough to say that those type of things make you or break you. And you could be a freaking millionaire, a billionaire, but if I see you're around myself, we go to have dinner or anything, and I see you treat somebody without any good reason, like, even if you have reason, I think you should like stifle in your emotions and be a man about it. But even if, let's say, you don't even have good reason to treat somebody that kind of way, like the reason people use is because they want to impose themselves over someone who has less authority than them in that specific place, maybe a restaurant, and that's very low. That's a very low quality of person who would do that. It doesn't matter how much money you have, the accomplishments you made. If you are genuinely a bad person to someone who doesn't even know you, that speaks very poorly of yourself. And that's something I always try to pick up on when I'm meeting new people and hanging out with someone new, even at work or even in new places. You will, if you are young like me, which you probably are if you are watching like this type of content, you will meet new people and you will meet a lot of new people, and you need to pick up on these things. Because yeah, maybe when you meet someone new, like, yeah, you don't know so much about them, but you start to build a relationship. Even if it's a romantic relationship, a friend, a social relationship, either case, like, you need to pick up on these things, because your circle, like your environment and the people who you spend time with, is extremely crucial, important, and tied to your future and who you become. So I have my good friends, my close friends, and I think they are all very good people. Of course, no one's perfect. Everyone has their flaws and their things they have to work on. But I'm very proud to say that, for example, my friends aren't like this. Like, they are all kind to employees or with myself. We always discuss things in the correct way. So that's something I really value in people. That's a very important character trait. So that's what I want to convey with this channel. Though that kind of vibe, in everything, it's not just about character traits, but pushing yourself, like really making an effort and going that extra mile to improve in life, because we only live once. And I think if you're only gonna live once, and considering how short life can be, like, you need to enjoy yourself. And enjoying yourself isn't like drinking till you are dead past 5 in the morning. Of course, there will be nights you will do that, especially if you're young, and that's okay. But I believe enjoying yourself and living to the fullest is much more than that. It's pushing yourself when you know you can go that extra mile, as I was saying. Is you're at work and maybe you don't want to do something. And work, even if you're an employee, a business owner, an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Like, in your area of work, if there is something you can do and be better than yesterday, do it. Like, don't think twice about it, because there will be many times in which you will have those sort of opportunities, and maybe you will say like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do this today. But those private victories, those private wins, will make you a successful person, and a person who is proud of himself. Yeah, maybe no one will know if you don't like do the extra push-up when you're in the gym or whatever, but you will know, and that's the most important thing. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about you, and you should already know this. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about you. What matters is what you think of yourself, because that is what will determine your future. If you think poorly of yourself, you will dress you will not dress in the best way possible, you will not treat the people around you in the best way possible, because you'll say, oh, okay, I'm a loser, like I don't care, I don't care about my life, I don't care about my reputation. But on the other hand, when you think highly of yourself, you will go that extra mile always, or at least 80% of the time, which is what matters. So yeah, that's what I want to convey in this channel, and what my goal is to try and influence everyone who may watch me, if you're watching this, to be better every day. And be better doesn't mean to go to the gym 8 days a week and do cold showers. But you will fuck up, we all fuck up, and it's normal and it's okay, and we are here to learn and to grow. So that's my goal here, and if I can inspire anyone along the way to be not like me or more like me, but to have this mindset, because I don't want anyone to be like a copy of me. I want to inspire people to be better just in the same way I am, because I'm very perfectionist person, and it really hurts me to see people who like don't want to make an effort, or don't want to listen to you, people who talk all the time, for example, and don't try to say, okay, maybe I can listen this time, you know. So that's what I want to convey with this channel, with my message, with my videos. That's the intention, and I hope I can do it. And I will not rest until that mission is complete, for at least that's the idea for now. And yeah, the second thing I wanted to talk about in this video, which sort of ties up really well with what I've been speaking about, is authenticity and my thoughts on authenticity. And I have a story to illustrate some thoughts I have on authenticity. So I have this girlfriend back in the time, like 2-3 years ago, and we broke up. She broke up with me. Like the relationship wasn't so well, and yeah, well, she made the decision that she didn't want to continue with the relationship, and we ended up there. And let's say like 1 year later, I'm with my friends. I'm with some male friends, which I have 3 or 4. We were at the time, and 3 girls, like 4 girls, which were other friends also. And we are talking there, having a good time, laughing. We were at the beach and we were talking about my ex, the relationship that I had with her and everything. And one of the girls says something about me, which I can't completely recall what it was, but she said something about like, oh, and when you broke up with ex, with this girl, yeah, whatever, you know. And I told her like, yeah, but in reality, she was the one that broke up with me, like, and I was the one who broke up with her. I told to this girl, you know, which was my friend. And this girl told me like, whoa, like, it takes, not, she didn't use the word courage, but she said something like, well, it's not common that someone like says something like you said, like I said at the time. If they like, people try to how can I say this, like people try to hide these things if possible. And she told me like, you were very open about that, like that is very mature of you, something like that. She said that is very mature of you. And I told her like, yeah, because when you're sure of yourself, when you're sure of yourself, sorry, you are not afraid to be authentic. And that is what I wanted to illustrate telling this story. Like, you could try to be like the G of your group, you could try to be like the person who, I don't know, makes a lot of money, and that is your identity. But at the end of the day, you have to be yourself. The only person you can be the best at is at being yourself. If you try to be like, I don't know, who can I name, like any celebrity, any actor, any character of a movie, and I personally get very inspired by movies, and I try to copy some of the attitudes and the traits of movie characters. But at the end of the day, you have to be yourself, because you are unique. And as cringe as it may sound, and people who maybe listening to this like say that it's very cringe of you to say to be yourself, but it's the truth. Like when you start to be sure of yourself, you won't be afraid of being yourself and carrying yourself in the way you want. Because for example, I could sit here and tell fake stories about my life, but at the end of the day, what purpose that, in what way does that serve me? Like when you live a real life, when you don't lie, whenever I can and whenever I'm in a good place in my life, like I try to be authentic, because it's like you feel very good about yourself when you don't need to give explanations to anybody. You don't need to fake about anything. Like you're sure of yourself, like this is me. Like when you open yourself and show to people which you, and I'm not saying that you should be an open book and meet a new person and tell them everything about your life, every detail, every second that you spend with anyone. What I'm saying here is that it's very admirable to be that person that isn't ashamed of the things that he did. I did a lot of things that to this day, like I think I fucked up there. That was a mistake. But I don't try to hide those things. With my close friends or with new friends that I make, like I'm open about things, and nobody's perfect. And when you stop trying to be perfect and you accept that you are gonna continue to fuck up for the rest of your life in every area, like in your work, in your social life, like there's like a relief. Like a relief in a way that you're not perfect and you're gonna fuck up, and that's okay. It's a blessing to discover how good authenticity can be in your life. That's the message of today. If I can leave you with one message, is that try to be more authentic in your day-to-day life with your family, with your friends. Don't try to hide things or lie when you're ashamed of something you did or said. Be honest with people. And if you are not happy about something, express it. That's the thoughts I had today to talk about authenticity. And it's not the last video that I'm gonna make on authenticity, because it's such a deep topic, like being authenticity to yourself. I'm not gonna spend a lot of this, but just to give you the tip of the iceberg on this. So if I was being authentic to myself, I may think like, oh, it would be very cool to be like, I don't know, a mechanical engineer and this, and I can continue to speak about the topic and say, oh, this and this, but that's not true to myself. That's not what I want. Or a better example, let's give real examples. I myself tried some months ago to be a closer, a remote closer, because I watched so much content about closing sales online and remote closer and top sales rep and all of the gurus, online, which I have nothing against them, because I hate people who try to throw rocks at the gurus just to get not even fame, just to appear as someone different. Like everything is okay with the gurus. Like they do their own thing, I do my own thing, and they make money and I live my life. But what I'm trying to say here is, because of their content, I let myself try paths that weren't true to myself. And one of them was remote closing. And that wasn't authentic to myself. And no one else knew that. I knew that inside. Like, and that's okay, like I was trying. I'm not saying it was a mistake to try that. But I tried sometimes, some months, and after a while I said like, this is not for me. Like I don't enjoy talking to people on a sales call and trying to close them, or not even trying to close them, but trying to help them with some issue. Like this is not for me. And I really admire people who do this at a high level, but it's not my case. Like I'm made for something else. I really like this, and I think if I'm being authentic to myself now, I think this is what I should be doing and what I should be putting my attention into, because I struggle a lot with this, with talking on camera and talking in English, because I'm just starting. But it feels authentic to me now, because from my life I always loved to learn things, experience things, and then talk to people about them. But sometimes it can be very tedious for people in my life to hear me yap about, like, I don't know, we go like 20 minutes ago I turned on the camera. It can be a lot of time for someone to hear me on my family, but I think that this is great for me, because with this I have the opportunity to share my experiences, my knowledge, my lessons, and the things I keep learning on as I live my life. And I like it, and I hope I can help you. I hope I can help if you're watching or listening from the other side. I hope maybe not everything, but one experience, just as long as one experience or one thought or one sort of mindset that I share on one of these videos, it could change your life. And a lot of people started like I'm starting now, and they changed a lot of lives, and that's what I intend to do, because I made a lot of changes in my own life already. I don't know, maybe someday I will show you pictures of myself when I was younger and everything, but I made a lot of changes in my own life, and I think I have a lot of knowledge in many areas, and I would like to pass that on. And maybe my friends or the people in my circle, in my town, maybe they won't listen to me when I speak to them about, I don't know, testosterone, health, training, how to dress better or how to carry yourself better. But if I can share those things with you, whoever is watching and listening, if I can share those things with you and make a profound change in your life and help you in that way, that will make me incredibly happy. That will mean to me that I fulfill my purpose, basically, with this, because that's the purpose of this. If not to share, what else? It wouldn't be a good thing for myself to not share what I learned, because I think I try to live an intense life and do many things in just one day, imagine in 1 year. And I think that sort of lifestyle that I intend on living is a sort of lifestyle that teaches you a lot. And I think it would be wrong for me not to share the things that I learned trying to live that life.